Hi, welcome to Yoga Strong with Debbie. Today we're doing a practice for tennis players. This is going to be a pretty inclusive practice. I'm going to give you we're going to pretty much work the whole body. But as we go, this is a practice that you can actually just take pieces from if you're just looking for something in particular. So tennis players, a lot going on, wrists when you're volleying, a lot of low back. You need a lot of leverage in the spine because you're doing a lot of twisting. You got to be light on your feet, so we have to build ankle strength. So today's practice again is going to try to encompass the whole body, but knowing that you can just kind of break down certain parts for maybe when you need it more. So I'll explain that as we go. If you enjoy this video, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. More content's coming. If you have any requests, I always welcome them. So if you're looking for something in particular, please just reach out. So today we're going to start in a seated position. And before I begin, if you have a yoga block, great. I am going to demo something using a strap. A towel would work just fine. And I'm also going to demonstrate something if you don't have a block. I know you guys have tennis balls, so we're going to do a little something just showing you how you can incorporate props and things that you already have into your yoga practice. So our first thing is going to be kind of a twofer. We're going to warm up the feet and we're going to warm up the wrists. Again, volleying, a lot going on with the wrists. A lot of my tennis players complain about wrist issues. So we're just going to come to our knees, and I want you to curl the toes here. So really reach back and make sure that you're feeling all 5 toes on the earth. So you might have to even just pick them up and put them there, especially the pinky can kind of tend to get stuck. If you have a block, if this is too hard, if this is just your feet are just really talking to you and you have a block, just an option if you want to sit on a block. That's an option too. So just coming down, you should already feel a super stretch in the whole top side of the foot. So as we're working the foot, we're also going to work the wrists. So I just want you to take your arms out in front of you, fingers facing the ceiling, like you're pressing the wall, imaginary wall in front of you. Now you'll notice here that my shoulders are rounded. I want you to draw them back, like you're trying to sit on a wall behind you and make your shoulder blades hit that wall. So as you do that, like I already feel a real intense stretch here in my front forearm, and that's what you want. So just try to draw the fingers back as much as you can. So we're strengthening so that we can lengthen. We always strengthen and then lengthen. So just building some strength in the forearms, and they're probably already talking to you. And then just go ahead and release it, let it go if you need to rotate the wrists around a few times. We're going to do that again. So pressing out, draw the shoulders back. Draw the navel in, deep breath in, deep breath out. Now you're going to turn your fingers down towards your mat. Being mindful again, if the shoulders came forward, draw them back. See if you can take the fingertips down a little bit further. Now we have that intense stretch going on in the inner forearm here. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Go ahead and release it again. Round the wrist a few times if you need to. This time we're going to flip the feet. So you may have even already forgotten that you were getting that foot stretch because your mind was elsewhere. So we're going to flip the feet. So now tops of the feet are into your mat, and try to settle in here. So we're working the whole top part of the foot here, top part of the ankle. So just wiggle walk, maybe take the knees out further, just whatever feels good here. We're going to take those arms out again, press them out. Flip the wrist down again, fingers facing your mat, and then draw the shoulders back. Now this time you're going to take your left hand And we're just going to stretch out each finger. So grab your pinky and see if you can pull it back towards your elbow as far as you can. We never want to feel pain. A little bit of discomfort is fine, but if you're in pain, just back out and just take it one finger at a time. Really drawing it back towards the wrist, towards the elbow. And then once you get to the thumb, just pull it back towards you. And then just doing the same thing with the other hand. So left hand's down, just grab the pinky, just go finger by finger. And then finally that thumb. Nice. And then rotate the wrists around a few more times. So the feet should be a little warmed up, the wrists are warmed up. And now we're going to walk our hands forward, coming to a tabletop position. So in tabletop, your shoulders are on top of the wrists. Your hips are on top of the knees. Really try to spread your fingers out nice and wide so that you can really grip your mat. From here, we're going to warm up the spine for all the twists that we do in tennis. So on the inhale, you're going to drop the belly, arch the back, lift the heart. On the exhale, you're going to press in with your hands, round the spine, chin to chest. Think of a Halloween cat. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine. 2 more times. Inhale, drops the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Really press, press, press into your mat. Feel the shoulder blades round. And then slowly come back to neutral. So working into the shoulders a little bit more, we're going to drop our elbow or our forearms down to the mat. We're coming into dolphin pose. So you may need to wiggle walk the arms out towards the edges of your mat. You're just going to curl your toes here and begin to straighten your legs. So it's kind of like a mini down dog here. So you're just pedaling out here. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee, just stretching into the calves here. And then drop the knees down. Come back up on the hands. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So curling the toes again, lift the hips up to the sky to make your way to your first downward facing dog. So again, your fingers should be really spread apart. The heels may or may not be touching. Usually they're not touching, and that's fine. And again, if you want to pedal it out here, feel free. And then just find some stillness here. Press in with your thumb, index, middle finger. Feel your spine lengthen. A lot going on in down dog. So you're stretching the back part of the body from the heels to the wrists. From here, you're going to lift your right leg high. Rotate your hips so your right hip's on top of your right. Bend your knee. You can take some ankle rolls here. You can take some nice big hip circles here. And then straighten that leg, square off the hip, step your right foot through to meet your right thumb, and you're going to drop your back knee down. Flip the top of the foot, arms reach up, low lunge. So in here, we're really working into that hip flexor, getting you ready to run. Breath in, breath out. From here, take your right arm down by your side, reach your left arm high, take a side bend here. So really getting into all areas of the spine. Come back to center, right arm meets the left, surround the right foot, back to down dog. So you know what's coming here. Left side, inhale, left leg high. On the exhale, rotate that hip, left on top of right, bend the left knee, rotate the ankle. If it feels good to rotate the hip, and then straighten the leg, square off the hip, left foot meets left hand. Drop the right knee down. Inhale, arms reach. Sink in to that hip, really press in with that left foot. Breath in, breath out. On your next breath, drop your left arm down, reach your right arm high, side bend. Slowly bring everything back to center. Surround that left foot, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. On your next inhale, lift that right leg high again. This time we're just going to step it right through to meet your thumb. Drop the back knee again, coming back to your low lunge. Breath in, breath out. Bringing your hands to heart center here, pressing the palms together, taking the spine in a different direction now. We're going to take a twist. So you're going to turn towards your right, take your left elbow to the outside of that right knee, and take a twist here. So here you really want to focus on pressing the palms together. As you press the palms together, you're going to really feel that expansion in the chest. Breath in, breath out. Slowly come back to center. Surround the foot, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it through to meet your thumb. Right knee drops down. Arms reach, runner's lunge. Breath in, breath out. Bring the hands to heart center, this time looking to the left. Right elbow comes to the left knee. Press the palms together as you take your twist. So use that tension between the arm, the right arm, and the left leg. So you're pressing in, opening up the heart. Slowly come back to center. Reach the arms up. Surround the front foot, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Bend your knees, look towards your hands, and just slowly walk up to meet your hands. So we're coming into standing. So keeping a nice bend in the knees here, I just want you to slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow, until your head is the last thing to come up. And then from here, just roll the shoulders back a few times, maybe front and back, whatever feels good. So from here, we're coming into a standing sequence. This sequence can be done, again, on its own. I like to do this with my athletes if we don't have a mat, if we're just maybe in a parking lot, because we're never coming down to the floor. So, and it's all about matching your breath with your movement, which is obviously a huge part of yoga, just learning how to control the breath patterns. So from here, my camera might cut off the top of my hands, but you'll get the idea. So from here, the arms are going to reach up high, press in with that right foot. You're going to draw the left knee in to the chest here. So we're already working into core. You're slowly going to take that leg back behind you to a high lunge. So reaching back, powering out through that back heel. Now, if you feel wobbly, you might be on a tightrope. So you might want to wiggle walk that right foot out so that you're on skis. Breath in, breath out. From here, you're going to peel open to Warrior Two. Now, Warrior Two, you're going to wiggle walk that foot back in so that your right heel is in line with the center arch of your left foot. Sink down. You want to make sure that that knee is tracking over that second and third toe. So as I look down at my foot, I can see my big toe. Breath in. Breath out. So we're going to take this nice and slow first so you get the sequence, and then we'll do it a little bit faster. So from here, we're coming back to your high lunge. So we're just spinning the back heel up again. Left arm cartwheels back to your crescent lunge. Breath in, breath out, and then from here you're just going to push into your right foot as you come back to where we began. Left knee up, exhale, bring it down. So going through the other side, ground down through your left foot, draw the right knee into the chest, and then you're slowly going to take it down to your high lunge. So really extend it back long, find your balance, wiggle walk that left foot out if you need to, draw the navel in, that right hip's forward, left hip is back, engage the glute here, a lot going on here in crescent pose. And then from here, we're peeling it open to Warrior Two. So maybe wiggle walk that left foot in, sink in, making sure that you're sealing the outer edge of that right foot. Center here. Draw the shoulders down. Breath in. Breath out. From here, making our way back to crescent. So spin that right heel. Right arm comes up. From here, rooting down with that left foot. Right knee comes up. Exhale, step it back down. So just bring the arms down for a moment, roll the shoulders back. We're going to go through that standing sequence again, just a little bit faster. So one breath, one movement. So come back here, feet together, arms come up high, left knee to chest. Exhale, step it back to crescent. Breath in. Exhale, Warrior Two. Breath in, back to crescent. Root through that right foot, left knee comes up. Left foot meets the right. Inhale, right knee comes in. Exhale, step it back to crescent. Inhale. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale. Spin that heel back to crescent. Inhale, knee comes up. Exhale, down. From here, we're just adding one more layer, which is a balance pose. We're coming into eagle. So you're going to bring your arms out to a T. Right arm's going to come underneath the left. So we're working into the shoulders. You're going to wrap your forearms together and press your palms together. Now, if this is too much, this is great too. Just grab your shoulders. So we're sinking in, rooting down, breath in, breath out. So from here, you're going to begin to lift your right foot. We're just doing it in the opposite direction this time, and we're crossing it over the left. So you're sinking down like you're sinking into a chair. So lots of ankle strength here in the left ankle. You should probably even feel like those little muscles, all those little micro muscles, just like going real fast. Breath in, breath out. From here, begin to make your way out of it. Unravel the arms, come back to your crescent lunge. Breath in, breath out. Peel open to your Warrior Two. Settle in, breath in. Next breath, spins that right heel back to crescent lunge. Root down with that left foot, right knee comes up. Exhale, lower. So coming into eagle on the other side, this time left arm underneath the right. Same concept. Again, if it's too much, just grab the shoulders, but if you're able to press the palms together and you want to lift the elbows here and then try to press the palms away from your face. So you should feel a really super stretch in the posterior part of the shoulder. From here, rooting into the right foot, the left leg begins to lift and cross over. So it's like you're sitting in a chair. This foot can kickstand here. If you need some support, just lower it down. Feeling that right ankle. And then slowly come out of it, release the arms, crescent lunge. Breath in. Your next breath peels it open to warrior two. Breath in, spin that heel, crescent lunge. Ground down through that right foot. Inhale, left knee to chest. Exhale, step it down. Just bring the hands to heart center here. Straighten the legs. Breath in. Breath out. So that was your standing sequence. Now we're going to come back to the mat, do some low back and some hip work. But again, you can take these just chunks of this in whatever you need for your practice. So from here, we're going to reach the arms up high so that we can get down to the floor. Hinge from the hips, forward fold, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, lift up halfway like you're looking over a cliff. Exhale, surround the feet, step back, high plank. So from here, we're going to hold high plank. Pressing in with the hands, dial the elbows in. Draw the navel into the spine, engage everything. Glutes. So obviously need a strong core for basically everything in life. That's certainly going to help you with your tennis game. And then from here, you're just going to slowly, if you want to drop your knees, or you can go high to low plank, and then just come down to your belly, however you want to get there. So a couple things for low back. We're going to do cobra pose. So the tops of the feet are planted into your mat, but the legs are engaged. So your kneecaps should be elevated off of your mat. If you can see me on my mat, you should see like a little space there. You're going to draw your hands back so that they're about in the middle of your chest. And then you want your elbows in. So you don't want them out, in, kind of like wings, drawing them in towards the rib cage. From here, using the tops of the feet to press into your mat, you're going to just press the hands up and breathe. So for some of you, you're not going to go very far. That's perfectly fine. We're just working into the low back here. And then slowly begin to lower everything down to the mat. Curl the toes. We're going to come back to your high plank again. Press in with the hands. Dial the elbows in and breathe. Drop the knees, come back to your belly. So our second low back exercise we're going to do is called Sphinx. So the forearms are into the mat. And you'll notice that the shoulder is right in line with the elbow here. Again, hands are very important. You want to make sure that the fingers are spread nice and wide. It just allows you to really be grounded into your mat. Tops of the feet are planted into the earth. And you're lifting just like we did in Cobra. And you want to imagine that you're trying to pull your elbows towards your hips. They're not going to go anywhere. But as you do that, you should really feel a nice engagement in the low back. So it's like you're trying to pull your mat back towards your hips. Now, if it's in your practice and you want a little bit more of an advance, you can begin to walk the hands out slightly, a little bit wider. And some of you may be able to straighten your arms here. So coming into seal pose. And then slowly begin to lower down to your belly. So from here, we're going to do a shoulder stretch from the belly. It's shoulders, it works into the hips a little bit as well. So from here, you're gonna just come back to your belly. Come as if you're coming back into cobra pose, just bring the hands mid-chest again. This time, extend your right arm long behind you. Out to your side, right out to your side. Your right cheek is gonna come down to the mat. Bend your left knee. Pressing in with your left hand, you're going to begin to roll over, taking that left leg behind you. So the left leg may be airborne, or you may be able to touch it here. So just wherever you are, but you should feel a stretch in that right top part, the front part of that right shoulder. And here you could just kind of play around with this. The more you press in with that left hand, the further you're going to go. You can either, if you want to wiggle walk that hand, maybe a little bit in front of you, and just try to settle in. And then slowly begin to make your way back to your belly. And then taking it to the other side. So just bring that right hand in again. Press into the mat. Take the left arm out to the side. I'm right next to a wall, so I'm going to have trouble doing this. So you can even keep your arm at goalpost here. Left cheek to the mat. Bend the right leg. Begin to press in with your right hand as you roll over. Taking that leg behind you. Feeling that left upper shoulder, that deltoid area. And then slowly begin to make your way back to your belly. And then just pressing into both hands, we're just going to make our way back to our tabletop. Walk the knees in. And then we're just going to come to a seat here. So just spin the legs around however you get there. So from here, if you have a block, great. If you have a thing of tennis balls, this is what I'm going to use, just because I have a feeling you probably have those. So we're going to start with boat pose here. So in boat pose, we're sitting down. Boat pose works the core. You're drawing the navel in, grab the back of the legs here, and just dig the heels in to settle in for a moment. And then from here, you're going to lift the legs off of the ground. So in boat pose, perfectly fine to stay here. If you're able, you can straighten the legs. You can even reach the arms forward like a V shape. So you can do this without any props, but I'm going to grab my tennis balls here and I'm going to come to center. So you're drawing the navel back in. And then we're just going to take some twists here. So as I straighten the legs, I'm going to just twist over to the left. Come back to center. You can either keep the legs straight or you can bend them again. Exhale, twist to the right. Come back to center. Twist left. Back to center. twist right. Back to center, wherever you are, legs bent, legs straight. Just hold, hold, hold. Engage that core. Breathe. And then slowly lower the legs down. So you can go ahead and get rid of whatever it is you're holding here. And then we're going to come down to our back. So again, another segment. If you wanted to just do this segment on the back, certainly can just take that as a piece on its own. This would be a nice segment to do like if you run a lot, like a pre-run, because we're going to get into the hips a lot here and the hamstrings. So you can use this for different reasons. So what we're going to do is we're going to load the hamstrings. I talked about strengthen and then lengthen. So when we load a muscle, meaning like we put tension on it, it just allows it to stretch that much easier. So on your backs, you're going to draw your heels in towards your hips. You're going to dig your heels in, so the toes are coming off of the earth. Your hands come down by your sides, so the feet are hip distance apart. And then you're going to lift your hips up, digging your heels in. So the hips come up to the ceiling. Engage the glutes here. I want everything engaged. Now try to draw the heels back towards your hips. Again, they're not going to literally move, but feel like you're trying to drag your mat behind you with your heels. And you should feel your hamstrings really fire. Breath in. Breath out. Slowly lower the hips down. We're going to do 2 more sets of that, walking the feet out. So just walk the heels out a couple inches. Dig them in. Hands by the sides of your mat. Lift the hips up. Engage everything here. Try to draw the heels in. Try to pull your mat behind you. Engage. I can feel my hamstrings really like shaking at this point. And then slowly lower. Last time, just take the heels out a bit further. Dig them in, so just make sure the knees are still bent. Pressing in, lift the hips. Digging in, try to draw the heels back. Feel everything fire. And then slowly lower down. So we've loaded that hamstring muscle big time here. You're going to straighten both legs. We're going to do a single leg stretch here. So just like shake the legs out if you need to rotate the ankles. Now you can do this without any props, but I'm going to show you with a strap. You can also use a towel. Again, I'll show you how you can just do it without it. So keeping the left leg straight, you're going to draw the right knee into the chest and then extend it long. So like you're trying to put a footprint into the ceiling. Make sure both hip points are down on the floor. And you can grab the back of the hamstring, interlacing the fingers. If you're a little more flexible, you could maybe grab the calf. So you're just trying to draw that right leg towards the center of your body, maybe even a little bit further. So you should feel a nice hamstring stretch. Now, if you had a towel or a strap, you can just place it around, hold on to it. Just allows you to get a little bit maybe deeper into the pose if you're not so flexible and you can't grab the ankle or the foot or whatever. So just breathing into this. So since we loaded that muscle, now we can lengthen that muscle. And that's where that real range of motion comes in into your practice and into your life. And then just slowly release that. If you want to bend at the knees, send the right leg long. We're just taking it to the other side. So drawing left knee into the chest. I'm all tangled up here. And then straighten that left leg like you're trying to press into the ceiling. Interlacing the hands behind the hamstring. Make sure that that right heel is on your mat and it's engaged. And just noticing that one side probably feels different. That's just the way most of us typically are. And then bending into the knee and just sending it out long here. So coming into some hip stretches here, we're going to come into a reclined pigeon. So place the left sole of the foot, bend the knee and place that foot into your mat. And then you're going to take your right ankle, cross it over to your left knee, sending that knee out towards the side. So you just take your right hand and you can even just prop it open here. Keep that foot flexed so that you're not doing any damage to your knee here. Now you can either stay here or you can interlace the hands just like we did in that last stretch behind the hamstring as you lift the left foot off the floor, drawing the left knee into the chest. Keeping both feet flexed. So I know this is a very, very common stretch for athletes to do. Nice hip opener. And just breathe. Slowly begin to release if that leg's up, that left leg down to the earth. Keep that right leg where it is. You're just going to continue moving that right ankle over towards the left until your right knee crosses over your left knee. So it's just right knee on top of left. And then you're going to draw both knees into the chest. Keeping the feet flexed, you're going to grab either right below the knee, maybe you can come to the shins, maybe you're flexible enough to come to the ankles or the feet. But two things happening here. You're drawing the knees into the chest, but you're also trying to draw the legs away from one another. So as you do that, you should feel a real deep stretch in that right glute here on the side. Go ahead and release whatever it is you're holding, but keep your legs crossed. Just bring your left foot down to the earth again, keeping that right leg crossed over. And then we're just going to take a side twist here. So you're just going to let the gravity pull you over towards your left side, making sure to keep your shoulder blades down into the mat. So we're just twisting. And then the arms here can either come to cactus or goalpost. They can come all the way out to a T. And an option if you want to take that gaze over your right shoulder. And then we're slowly going to make our way back to center. Unravel. And just place now the right sole of the foot into the earth. Left ankle crosses over to the right knee for your reclined pigeon here. So using that left hand to press that knee, that inner thigh open, either staying here or interlacing the hands, drawing the right knee into the chest. And here it's nice to use your left elbow to kind of pry that leg open. So you're just giving yourself a self-assist here. And then slowly begin to lower that right foot down to the earth. Keep that left foot right there. And then just continue taking that right ankle over, or that left ankle over to the right until your left leg crosses over. Drawing both knees into the chest. Grabbing again whatever you can here. Tops of the shins, ankles, feet. And then as you draw the knees into the chest, you pull the legs away from one another. So your feet are going in opposite directions here, left and right. Feeling that nice stretch in that left glute. So this is also a great stretch to do like post-workout, post-run. Just really working into the connective tissue. This could be considered a little bit of a recovery type of yoga. And then release whatever it is you're holding. Bring the right sole of the foot into your mat. Keep that leg crossed. And then bringing your arms out to the sides again, just begin to let the gravity of that left leg take you over towards the right. Maybe taking the gaze over that left shoulder, but again, being mindful that the shoulder, both shoulders are into your mat, so you're not taking the shoulders with you. And then slowly bring everything back to center. Uncross that left leg. Just draw both knees into the chest here. Cross at the ankles. And then just begin to rock forward and back a few times until you make your way up to a seat here. So just taking a nice deep inhale. Easy seat, legs crossed, breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Again, you can always take pieces of it if you don't have the time to do the whole sequence. I just wanted to give you lots of options. You could just do these wrist stretches, you know, before a match, the feet, standing sequence if you just need some stamina. On the back sequence for hips, maybe some recovery. So I hope that you found that useful. Again, if you could please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that way you'll get notifications of new material coming out. Also, if you have any special requests or comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you so much. Namaste.